Hey guys, one of my favorite ways to play the Hearthstone Battlegrounds game is to play a classic comp and just put utility units in it. One of the places where this is the most common is with the Elemental Pirates APM build, where you have a classic core of the Wraith, the Rock, Tethys, Brand, and you've probably heard me talk about that all the time, where it gives you so many open spots to float and tech units between rounds. Where this seems to be a lot less common, and where I think you can do just as much of that, is in the new Catacomb Crasher comp. So generally, when you're playing this comp, what you end up having is a Catacomb Crasher, a Cadaver Caretaker, and a um, Rivendell Titus, and that's kind of your core of the comp. You're generally also going to have McCall in the comp, just to get extra procs of the Death Rattle. But with that, you kind of have a four minion core. Where you get a lot more value though with this is when you start using really good units as your other like 2 to 3 filler spots. In this game, I ended up using Ferrex, which gave just a lot of Divine Shield value in the late game, and gave me a lot of room to, play the mid game a little bit slower. I ended up rolling on 4 a lot longer this game, and I don't think I went up to 5 until turn 9-ish. But I kind of noticed it was a slower lobby, and I had the health to use it, and that really just gave me a good place to settle in the lobby. But where this comp really shines is, that Ferrex could potentially be a Bramble Witch if you see that demons are kind of going out of control in the lobby. It could be, even like like base skill, and you could potentially float into Murloc Scam in your hand. Really, there's a lot of ways to play this. And you have the flexibility with it. You only have really 4 spots that really need to be locked into this comp. And this is kind of the playstyle you should look into most of the comps. I think one of the biggest baits on sites like HS Replay, or even if you look at comps generally, is you see that there's like 7 minions to a comp, and you kind of think like, oh, I need to play these exact 7 minions. And where a lot of the skill I've noticed in climbing this latest like season has been really seeing the core of a comp that's essential to play, but then trying to figure out how you can float other minions in there to give you the best chance of winning in your next games. The other skill with that is kind of what I touched on a little bit earlier, and is a little bit of a like, when should you go to Tavern Tier 5? I think the early game is mostly solved in a lot of aspects. A lot of the times, like, I consider the first about probably 6 turns until you get to your trinket choice, like a pretty much solved game. And there's really not a lot of choices that you have. It's either you level up or tavern tier up, or you buy 1, 2, 3 minions based on the shop. And a lot of it's just being efficient with your gold. And I think this game gives a good example of when it's important to sit stabilize on 4 versus go to 5. And you'll see that I was able to find the early Catacomb Crasher, and from there I was able to kind of just force the comp. Generally, with this comp, you don't want to be playing it unless you already have that Cadaver Caretaker. But with the early Catacomb Crasher, you have the flexibility to play potentially weaker Death Rattles and start buffing your board a little bit earlier and start looking for those flex units. And a lot of the good flex units in this game were on Taverns 3. And that also got me set up for the McCall, just because it was also a beast lobby. Really, going to 5 only would do 2 things. It would give me the Titus and the Crashers. Really, the Crashers, you don't need the gold in it super early. Titus definitely would have been a lot nicer to have early. I don't think I found it till like turn like 12 or something like that. But in general, you can play the comp without it. It does do a lot better with Titus. But that again goes back to the intro point of the video is, if you play down Titus, that gives you one more tech flex unit. Especially in Murloc lobbies, this comp does really well that it has a lot of pokes at the Venom, and you will still have stats with you if you run a Abomination that will be able to compete with Murloc stats. I think an Infinite Murlocs will probably outbeat this, unless you have like some type of Sneed summoning where it's essentially exponential scaling. just because you're getting that extra death rattle every turn and then you're multiplying it so many different ways. But in general, it's a really, really fun comp to play, and I think people think that it's a more strict comp than it needs to be. Really, again, getting to what is the like 3 or 4 minions that are core to a comp is a really important skill to learn. And then from there, trying to find what are the good cards to flex. And I'd really challenge you to potentially look at some of your previous games, or look even just at like HS3 plays comps, and look at what are actually the only 4-ish minions that you need to do to play a comp. Um, the and really, this is, I think, one of the good skills to climb up and start piecing together comps as you go through a lobby. Having a set you're only looking for one minion while you're rolling is a really bad way to just lose 10 gold on a turn when you potentially had a couple extra outs that you had. And the other bonus to playing this way is because you're playing 3 tech units. Those 3 tech units can potentially flex you into another comp if you need to switch comps on the fly in the late game. So, yep. That's really it. I've probably rambled on the idea of it, but this is just a really powerful skill that I've been trying to do a lot more, and I've noticed I've been winning a lot more games this way. So, good luck out there. Good luck on your climb. See ya.
There was once a day that I would pray for you. I'd go and misbehave just so you'd notice too. Sneaking looks up and down from across the room. And damn, what a hell of a view. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight. Don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase. So catch me if I fall. tap. I'm loving your vibe, always have your back. We like all the same tracks, listen all night in the sheets all black. Said I'm falling fast, don't remember life before you, that's fact. I feel good, you look great, I like you, I can't wait. A first time, a first date, you're so fine, I'm so late. You sip wine, I drink straight, don't waste time to my place. I feel my heart erase, so catch me if I